Good morning. Hi, Susan. Hi, John. Glad to have you here. Good morning. We will get started in about 1 minute. And today we'll be actually starting in child's pose, which we have done in the past, but we will be coming up to stand. So you might also have some blocks nearby. We will give everyone another minute or two to join in. Today's June 29th, Tuesday. Happy birthday to my mom, if you're out there at any point now or in the future. I've been thinking about the word yoga, and the word yoga comes to us from Sanskrit, but we have a word in English that is related to the word yoga, and that is the word yoke, Y-O-K-E, that thing that holds two animals together in order to get them to work. And very often in yoga, we talk about balance, physical balance. We also talk about a mind-body balance. Good morning, Jane. We're talking about yoga. The word yoga is related to the English word yoke, comes from the same root. And when we think about being on the mat, very often you will hear teachers talk about finding the balance between effort and ease. And this is very much a yogic concept, not only physically, but also for mind, body, and for all parts of our lives. You all probably know the slogan, keep calm and carry on. It's been adapted into many, many, many different, sometimes humorous iterations. But I actually really like the original Keep Calm and Carry On. I think it was a poster actually from World War II in London or England, something that was used to help people both keep calm and carry on. To me, that does embody a little bit of what we are trying to do in yoga when we are on the mat and off the mat. So when we call it yoga, we might be on the mat, which we will be getting to. If you like a cushion under your knees for child's pose, you might have that set up, and you might have some blocks nearby as we start to rise up. But yeah, when we're on the mat, we're seeking that balance between effort and ease, that yoking of our strength and our surrender. And when we take yoga off the mat, it's very much trying to live in that space between both effort and surrender. Albert Einstein, who has some really great quotes, talks about life being like a bicycle. You have to keep moving to keep your balance. To keep your balance, you have to keep moving. So there is this dichotomy, this little tension between staying calm and staying active. So just a little something to think about, the larger idea of yoga and yoking things together. What is it in your life? What is it in your physical body that you might find today? Places to recruit strength and places to surrender and let go a bit. A little exploration today as we meet on the mat in your version of child's pose. That might be an extended child's pose with arms out. Like so. Arms out, knees wide, toes close together, just letting it feel long from the crown of the head through the tailbone, and find yourself noticing what parts of you press down into the earth with some effort in order to support the places that let go with some ease. Please use all the props that you like, even under your forehead. If you like a little cushion under your forehead, or something underneath the ankles. Your child's pose might be more of a rock, like a little tucked rock. And your child's pose could even be on your elbows, which I've demoed before, and I really, really like. Hips are a little bit over the knees, so it's a little bit akin to a table. Elbows underneath the shoulders and in a little bit. Hands in prayer position with the forehead resting on the thumb knuckles. So you've settled in. Find the breath that moves in, particularly into the back body. And watch the breath move away as you intentionally breathe in and out. If there's a dedication or an intention that you'd like to set for this practice, you might speak it aloud now. Science shows us that speaking things aloud actually makes a difference in our brains and in our brain chemistry. It's part of the reason a lot of different world religions and scripture is sung or spoken or recited aloud. Breathing here, settling in. And then when you are ready, begin with an inhale to rise up into table pose. Set the wrist under the elbows and the elbows under the shoulders. Press the floor away from you so that you feel the heart lift up away from the mat and some engagement underneath the armpits and a little tone in the low belly. And next time you exhale, bring yourself into a rainbow shape. We'll be taking a classic 6 directions of the spine, if you're familiar with that. We begin with cat-cow, which is flexion forward and extension. Imagine a hammock, that nice swag, evenly distributed throughout all the different vertebrae. Exhale to pull the belly in and tuck the tailbone, even the chin as you push the floor away. And then inhale to broaden the collarbones, lift through the broad base of the skull and lift like a happy dog tail up in the back. And then return to neutral. And we'll take lateral movements now. So find an inhale, and as you exhale, let the right shoulder and the right hip find each other as close as they can, like a kidney squeeze, which it is on one side. Inhale through the center, and then exhale to squeeze on the other side. Now we're trying to keep a neutral spine here, so there is that balance of some effort in the low abdominals and some effort pressing into the floor. But we're also trying to stay natural in terms of the lumbar curve in your back. So I wonder if you feel different places letting go and different places perking up. Finishing with a squeeze to the left, assuming you started with one to the right. And now we'll move the left hand a little bit in toward the center and inhale to roll the barrel of the chest open to the right. Some people like to reach with the arm. Others who have a shoulder issue or don't want to over-rotate, keep your hand on your chest or on the top of your shoulder. Limit the rotation in this upper shoulder here. Continue pressing down and lifting up if you've got the arm up. Inhale and exhale. And then when you're ready, on an exhale, let the upper arm thread the needle underneath, reaching across the body, and allow the shoulder to land. This left arm now becomes important for support. So move it into a place where you feel like it's helpful. It might be pressing into the mat right in front of your gaze. The underneath arm is stretched all the way out, pressing into the back of the hand and the elbow and the shoulder. Continue tracking the breath. And we will unwind completely with an inhale. Press down into that supporting arm. Unwind completely. Roll that wrist a little. Roll the shoulder a bit. And then return to table. Even yourself out here. And now we'll be pressing down from the heart center all the way down into that right palm with fingers spread wide. Roll the barrel of the chest open to the left. Again, if you're worried about the shoulder, this might be a place to practice surrender rather than strength. Hold your heart or hold the top of the shoulder. And imagine energy moving equally down the left arm and up the right arm. Grab an inhale and use the exhale to come into a rotation on this side. The arm reaches across the floor, and you'll see now the right arm might need to shift. Let it land where it's most helpful for you. The side of the head is touching the mat, but of course we seek to not put weight on the head. That's not really what the cervical spine is meant for. So this arm here and the long extended arm are seeking a connection, pushing down. Relax through the jaw. And then use the breath to travel all the way up and down this rotation. And you feel an inhale coming, lift through the back ribs, unwind completely. Take the left arm up and out, let it noodle up a little bit to loosen. Bring the hands back to table. And we'll push back to child just to give the wrists a release. So you can lift and lower the fingers here. Maybe flip the palms to face the ceiling. And then from here, inhale all the way up onto your knees. It can be helpful to curl the toes under. You may also have the feet flat, completely up to you. When you're ready, when you feel like you've got a little heavy tailbone, a little lift in the heart, gaze is straight out over the horizon, take an inhale, radiate the arms out and up and overhead. And on the exhale, come down in that same reaching movement out either side and bend the knees. Complete the exhale with the hands coming to land on the back of your sacrum and tuck yourself as much as you can with the exhale. Inhale, press down into the shins, lift the back body, and we'll rise all the way up again, inhaling to reach and exhaling to fold and stack the hands on the sacrum as you tuck under. Experiment with this little miniature flow a few times. Inhaling to reach up, look up, exhaling to tuck. Your tuck might have you come all the way down to the mat, or it might be you're Toes are important to support your knees, and you're tucking without coming all the way down. It's really, really, really your curiosity and your yoga leading the way. Whatever the case may be, next time you're on an inhale with fingertips reaching up, lift a little extra through the pinkies so you feel the shoulder blades come down the back of your rib cage. Let the chin tuck just a tiny bit. The gaze is at the front of the mat or a few feet away from the front of the mat. Find an inhale, and on an exhale, let the right hand travel down the side of your head, down the armpit, down the side of your hip, and the gaze will follow. So we're reaching up and down equally from the heart center through all 10 fingertips. Keep the abdominals lively and a little tuck in the tailbone here. And open out through the left ribs. We'll use an inhale to let the hand come up the side body again. And now exhale, the left hand comes scooting right down the side body. Fingertips reach down toward the knee. Find that feeling of heart center and then radiate energy equally through all the fingers, left and right, up and down. Gaze is down toward the fingertips. And we'll take this movement a couple times more dynamically. Inhaling, a little reach with the pinkies. Exhaling down one side, the gaze following the fingertips. Inhale, travel up. Exhale down the other side. One more cycle here. Inhale, reach. Exhale, even yourself out. Inhale, reach up one more time. Exhale, come all the way down to child's pose or down dog, whichever you prefer. So you might be enjoying another extended child. You might have risen up into a nice wiggly down dog. Now, if you have a blanket like I do, it's probably in your way. So I'm coming back down onto my knees. I need to move this out of the way. And from here, go ahead, bend the knees and walk yourself to the front of the mat. Your knees can bend a lot. You might tuck the head, neck, and shoulders and roll yourself up one vertebrae at a time. Crown of the head last. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, fingers point away toward left and right, working this big radiation feeling, and then scoop it up from underneath. If you know that you like some blocks to move forward and back in the sun salutation, go ahead and grab those. We'll be doing the traditional Surya Namaskar A, which goes like this. We find our center, support before action, lifting and lowering the heels, spreading the toes wide, bend and straighten the knees. Feel some energy rising up from the feet, heavy tailbone, crown of the head. And then inhale, reaching out and up. Hands may or may not touch. Exhale to fold. Knees may be bent or straight. And then inhale, come up half arch with a flat back. Broad collarbones. Gaze down. Exhale, fold again. And then inhale, press into the feet, reach the arms out and up. Exhale to heart center. We'll do that half salute 2 more times. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold. Relax the head. Inhale, half arch, halfway up, flat back, active. Exhale, relax into your fold. You might feel the tailbone flip up, that happy dog tail feeling. And then press down. Recruit strength in the thighs as you reach up. Exhale, heart center. Third time is the charm. Inhale, reach. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come up halfway. This time as you exhale, step back into a plank. It might be a low plank on your knees. It might be a high plank. Press the floor away from you. If your knees are up, press the heels away from you. We're meeting in a little plank on the knees or on the toes. Find an inhale. And then exhale to lower down. You might come thighs, belly, chest, forehead. Inhale, roll the shoulders up and back. Let the heart peek out toward the front of the mat. Bury the big toenails so you're pulling the tailbone toward your heels. Exhale, lower the head, curl the toes under, and then press away. Keep the elbows close into your body. Press up to down dog. And we'll take a breath or 2 here. And then inhale, lift the heels, bend in the knees, walk or step or hop forward. Inhale to rise up at the front of the mat again. Exhale, arms come down and hands will find heart center. Exhale. Let's go another round. Now that we know the flow, inhale to reach. Exhale to fold. The blocks bring the mat to you. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, fold. Step back into some kind of plank, high or low. Press the floor away from you. Where's the effort? Where's the ease? If there's a lot of effort, maybe there could be some ease in the head here. Maybe that tailbone reaching for your heels brings an openness and an easiness to the low back. Certainly there's effort as we press away and pull the navel in toward the spine. Find an inhale, lower down. Inhale, reach the elbows back towards your hips as you pull yourself up into a little baby cobra. Some of you may be all the way in down dog or up dog here. Exhale to lower, curl the toes, press the floor away, lift the hips up, send them back toward the back of the mat. You may move the feet as necessary. A lot of times just the proportions of our body make that movement require some reorganizing here. So down dog, reorganizing the feet, and then settle in with the breath. Press the floor away from you. Gazes toward the toes. You might try bending the knees a little bit so that the happy dog tail flips up even higher. Notice any effect that that has on lengthening the hamstrings or creating more lift through the hips. And then on an inhale, press into the toes, start to walk or hop forward. Inhale, exhale to complete the fold. And then we'll rise all the way up with an inhale and exhale, heart center. Pause here to assess any echoes, reverberations, anything that you might notice here. And then let's relax, release, let it go. Shake a little bit. Shake it off. Come to stand with the feet about hip distance apart, hands on the hip. Again, finding our balance by bending and straightening the knees, heel toe your way into feeling confident about where you are in space. And then go ahead, step the right foot back, a pretty generous step, but not as far as you would go for a warrior one. And the back foot is off at a 45-degree angle. Your railroad tracks can be as wide or as narrow as it makes sense for you. The hip points, the belly, and the heart are all facing forward. Press down into the back pinky toe edge of the rear foot and press into the ball, big toe ball of the front foot. Square the hips as much as is comfortable for you. The left hip might come back a bit and the right hip might come forward a bit. Notice this triangular shape that we're creating. This is pyramid pose. If you'd like to go a little further with this, reach the arms out to the side, this wide radiating movement, and then roll the arms forward for internal rotation and let them meet behind you. You might hold elbows or you might hold wrists, really up to you. And then inhale, let the elbows move a little closer toward each other and lift the heart. Gaze might follow for a nice, soft, open throat. On an exhale, if you'd like to explore folding forward, lead with your belt buckle. So we're not rolling the shoulders or relaxing the head. The gaze is still pretty much toward the horizon and we have a flat back here. Super duper wonderful posture to explore effort and ease. Notice the places that need to perk up. Pressing down into that back heel, the pinky toe edge, and the front ball of the foot. If it's comfortable for you and the front leg is not hyperextended, you could keep the fold coming forward as far as you like, and then round the head, neck, and shoulders to release the head. If you've gone pretty far, think carefully about how you want to come up. Inhale, lead with the heart. Press down into the back heel. Come all the way up. Release the arms. Bend the knees and step forward. Shake it off. And we'll try that on the other side. It could be a completely different situation with pyramid on the other side. Reset, shake it off. Inhale, the left leg steps back now, comfortably wide. Find a grounding in the back pinky toe edge. That thigh is perked up. Press down into the big ball of the big toe. This time the right hip might come back a little and the left hip come forward a little bit. Already you can feel the legs of the muscle hugging the midline here. If you want to add some arms, reach out, roll forward, bring the hands down and hold either elbows or wrists, whatever feels balanced to you. Inhale, back heart lifts, front heart follows. And if you'd like, on an exhale, fold over that front hip. Right hip continuing to move to the back of the mat. You might very quickly find the place that's right for you. Staying broad in the collarbones, soft in the throat and the neck. But notice all the places that are strong and active. It's your option if you'd like to continue the fold all the way down and then relax into it. Notice the way the elbows are still reaching, seeking each other on the back. Inhale, let the gaze come up to the front of the mat. Lift, let the heart lead. Come all the way up. And then relax the arms. Step yourself forward and shake it off again. Very nice. Go ahead now and face the long edge of your mat, if you would, and step the feet nice and wide. Whatever the front edge of your mat is, go ahead and let those toes face dead on to the front edge of the mat and bring yourself into a warrior two. So again, the railroad tracks or the width of your stance is really up to just whatever is going on in terms of the anatomy of your pelvis. We're going to straighten and bend that front leg so that you feel the weight of your body descending down the center like an elevator shaft. Both legs are active here. And the body faces the long edge of the mat this time. You might even take the arms out to the side, as is the custom in Warrior Two. And when you're ready, hold that front knee bent over the ankle. Feel the muscles hug the thigh bone. Gaze can come out over the front fingers if you'd like. And it will be your option if you'd like to hold this warrior or find an inhale and exhale to let the front forearm come to your thigh. The back arm sweeps under toward the face and up to huddle right here next to your ear. And we find ourselves in side angle pose. Press down with the forearm so the heart continues to roll and lift up toward the sky. And the cervical spine or the neck, the gaze, goes where it makes sense for you. Perhaps down. Your gaze might be tucked in toward this armpit, or just straight out at your computer screen. To rise out of this, let's use this top arm. Inhale, reach it up. Let it pull you up. And we will come back to toes pivoting, facing the long edge of the mat. Again, shake it off. And we'll pivot to the other side. So now you'll be facing the other short edge of your mat, whatever toes those are, left or right. Again, bending and straightening that front knee, finding the stance, like a warrior two stance here. So the pinky toe edge in the back, connected, weight moving with the bend of the front knee. When you're confident in the gravity that's supporting you, find the warrior two, hold here. It's your option if you'd like to continue with this powerful warrior two feeling. Or on an inhale, let the exhale pull you into a fold. The forearm presses down into the thigh. The top arm reaches from underneath so that there's another internal rotation here, and we are in side angle pose. Could be really different on this side. So check out what happens with your neck and your balance. Breathe into soft belly, whole open top rib cage, expanding. And again, we'll use this top arm almost as if somebody's pulling you up. Thank you, helpful person up there. Come on back, toes pivot forward. You might heel toe your way in a little bit closer. We'll be taking a forward fold with wide legs. So again, if you'd like to continue this theme of inward rotation with the arms, let the hands thread together behind your body and fold forward at the hip hinge. Hands might stay stacked on your sacrum, or you might press them up to the ceiling. Take the forward fold as far as you would like. Relax the head. And then on an inhale, press the palms up to the ceiling. Again, leading with the heart here, coming all the way up. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, bend the knees, hug everything in. Inhale, reach it up. Exhale, hug it in. One more time here. Inhaling to reach. Exhale, hug and hold. From here, unwind. Hands come back to the hips. You might heel toe your feet in together a little bit closer, and then hop, zip together as close as you can. Everything hugging the midline. Let the hands scoop up from underneath, drawing up whatever balance, yoga that you might need for the rest of your day. Taking a moment here in candlestick pose. Letting things settle. Discovering what might be coming next for you. Perhaps you continue with standing postures. We've gotten warm. Perhaps you'd like to come back down to the mat and take a resting pose, legs up the wall or Shavasana. Or perhaps there's a meditative practice that you like. Whatever the choice is, it's your instinct, it's your yoga. Keep calm and carry on. The light in me bows to the light in you. Namaste. Thanks, everybody. Have a great Tuesday.